We are live, pal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's special edition of the Just 2 but 3 Marks Wrestling Recap Show. But unfortunately, well, it's via satellite. It's like The Rock. I am the Athletic Geek. I am joined by Jedi Jason Kruger, who a little busy tonight, so he couldn't make it to Athletic Geek HQ, but he is here. And also joined by special guest EZ of the Elite Era Network. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh shit, do we ever.
We do. If you've never seen the show before, this is the Just 2 Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and I have been watching wrestling together for over 15 years. EZ, I met him at All In. We love wrestling. We love sharing our love of professional wrestling with all of you out there. However, we're fans just like all of you out there. We're not insiders. We're not wrestlers. We avoid insider terms because at the end of the day, we're not wrestlers. We are just 2 marks. Or 3 in the case of this week. And good God Almighty, do we have a lot to talk about.
Just 2 marks plus 1.
So,
Alright, shall we start with the good just to get it out of the way? No, shall we start with the bad just to get it out of the way?
well, I was actually thinking we go in order. So the first thing we need to talk about is the big news. Wrestle Kingdom 14 happened this week. It was
2-night festivity too.
2-night festivity. First of all, it's going to be a little unprofessional, but can anyone confirm on their end of watching it how well everybody's voice is coming in?
Let's see if we hear an echo. Sorry. Oh, I can hear myself fine.
All right, we're good. We're good then. That's a win.
SLIJ shirt.
Yes. So anyway, 2-night festivities. We have the final 2 matches of the legendary Jushin Thunder Liger. Nice little love letter and a bow on his career. It was emotional. It was awesome. The first night was an 8-man tag with various legends that Liger and some of his greatest opponents, from the great Sasuke to Tiger Mask to Tatsumi Fujinami coming back for a night, and then some newer guys that he's mixed it up with, like Ryusuke Taguchi. So that was real nice on night 1. Good little match, good little love letter to his career. Juice Robinson and Dave Finlay are the new IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So awesome for them. Jon Moxley defeated Lance Archer in a match that once again proved that this is my one thing I must say about that match. It was a great match, but the last 2 great matches with Lance Archer in it. I'm getting some feedback. Everything okay?
Jedi, you good?
Yep. Yeah?
Right now.
I think we got some feedback issues. All right. Yeah, he's back. All right.
Okay.
But Lance Archer did more than his fair share of work against Ospreay and Moxley. Yet at the end of that match, you know who the only people they were talking about in those matches were? Ospreay and Moxley. That's ridiculous. It is. Lance Archer deserves to be considered one of the best big men in wrestling right now. So, I don't know. We're hearing some clean clanging.
What's that?
I'm hearing some clean clanging somewhere.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I just put some clothes away in a cabinet real quick.
Oh, okay. Might have been what it is. All right, but we're good. We're good.
Then you know mine. As long as it's not good.
Since he's home, he's getting the ability to multitask during the show. I don't get to do that except for drinking my water.
Well, you know.
Uh,
It
Speaking of Ospreay, Hiromu Takahashi versus Will Ospreay. IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. I really enjoyed the match. Not really one that enjoys saying anything nice about Will Ospreay, but it was a damn good match. I still don't think he's the best wrestler in the world, like all the British wrestling fans will tell you. But it was a damn good match. Then finally we get to, I'm sure I'm skipping over some matches in the middle there, but we finally get to the co-main events for this evening. We have, for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, we have Knife Pettit, Jay White, versus Knife Pettit. Shopray, I be Knife Pettit. So, we have Jay White versus Tetsuya Naito in match 1 of the Double Gold Dash. And, well, it was a lot better of a match than I expected. My favorite part of the whole match was when Gato was out at ringside Gatoing. Naito just grabbed him by the beard and then just started, like Gato then just started screaming, Jay! 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 So that was my favorite part of the match. Other than Jay White losing the match and Tetsuya Naito winning. That was my other favorite part of the match.
You must have been so happy since G1 Supercard.
G1 Supercard,
No, when White lost.
Oh. The thing about G1 Supercard is since I like Okada, but he's not somebody I'm really big on. I was just happy to see him lose because I was happy to see the IWGP title switch hands inside Madison Square Garden in the United States for the first time. But yeah, I just didn't really care about. I don't like Jay White that much. I don't think he's good enough to be in that position he was in. And then Okada. I mean, he's the guy, but he's not really somebody I'm big into. So it was just kind of there. It was a cool moment, but it was just kind of there. But the match of the weekend was definitely Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. That match was amazing. Without question, the best of the two main events. And
Okada's entrance was just beautiful.
It was
like
good.
I saw it on YouTube. That was just beautiful.
I was
the neon jacket with like the lights went out. It's like, oh my god! Like, what the hell is their budget? They always make like the best entrances.
Well, he was the only one that got a big entrance, really. He ends up, unfortunately, Ibushi did not win the IWGP title that night, but it was still an amazing match. Fast forward to night 2, we have Jushin Thunder Liger's last match as he teams up with his old rival Sano to take on Hiromu Takahashi and Hiromu's eternal rival Ryu Lee, formerly known as Dragon Lee. Again, it's an awesome match. Good love letter for the career of Jushin Thunder Liger. John Moxley.
Why the hell they had him lose both nights? Like, that kind of seemed a bit dumb.
Liger's old school. He would want to lose his last matches.
I guess so.
Only Canadians feel like they should leave on top with in their last match. That's why they tap out to the sharpshooter.
Really good send-off. That's like, oh, okay.
His send-off is that he's passed the torch to the next generation, and now they don't need Liger anymore because the next generation beat him. He said in his press conference he can retire without any doubt now. So Yeah. Then we have Juice Robinson versus John Moxley for the IWGP United States title. Good little match. But the big news is what happened after the match with Minoru Suzuki coming out to challenge John Moxley. It's going to be an awesome match. I might have gotten a semi from that particular moment right there. But yeah, it was awesome. And that match has been confirmed for the New Beginning in Sapporo. Sapporo or Osaka, I can't remember which one. But the next big New Japan show, that match is happening. So yeah. Le Champion returns to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he takes on the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and wins in a, I don't want to call it an upset, but I was genuinely shocked that Tanahashi would just submit to Chris Jericho like that in a New Japan ring. But the bigger deal out of that is he was with the title, the AEW World title. He was acknowledged as the AEW World's Champion. Hopefully we get some progress there in a New Japan AEW relationship.
It's hit and miss, and I've been following this so closely, where it's people are saying no, partnership's dead, not gonna happen, but then people are well, we don't know yet, and then Jericho's put the egos aside and let's have a freaking partnership already. I agree with Jericho. It's what exactly could go wrong? Just a couple of matches here and there. You have some New Japan talent come to AEW. You get some AEW talent doing some New Japan shows.
The only thing that I can think of.
If you're letting Jericho and Moxley fight in New Japan, then why? Where's the heart?
Well, we don't know what went on with the rest of the talent. And the other thing is AEW. When New Japan talent would come to Ring of Honor, I'd say 99% of the time, the New Japan talent beat the Ring of Honor talent in a Ring of Honor ring. Hey, that's neat for Ring of Honor and all. But I could also see AEW, since they have a wider fan base, since they are on a more national scale, since they are on primetime TV, since they do have more distribution than Ring of Honor did. If New Japan, and this is complete speculation. This isn't been reported. This is just speculation in my own head, so take it for what it's worth. If New Japan wants to come over and just go, okay, LIJ is just going to come over and run roughshod over, the Jurassic Express, and they're all going to look like a bunch of losers, okay, well, we may not want that. Or Chaos is going to come in and destroy SCU. They may not like that so much. So
I don't want to offend anybody who actually are diehard fans of LIJ or Chaos, but just in my opinion, maybe a Bullet Club invasion, mainly because more wrestling fans recognize the name of Bullet Club.
They recognize the name of Bullet Club.
Bullet Club going an undefeated streak in AEW? Hell no. They can bring in the money. When the Bucks and Kenny, Hangman, Marty, when they were in Bullet Club, they bring, no pun intended, the big bucks.
But there's no other, but none of, here's a not so hot take, other than Kenta and Taiji Ishimori, nobody in that stable's that good. Nobody's that good. Nobody is on that level that they were at, 2 years ago when we were getting ready for All In. Jay is not on Kenny's level. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are good, not great. You have Jado and Gato, two has-beens that are there to take the pinfalls. Phantasmo is okay. You have Ishimori, who's really good, and then you have Kenta, who's still not as good as he once was compared to his, Noah days back in the mid-2000s. So the Bullet Club name is there, but the talent isn't where it was 2 years ago. And that ain't me trying. That ain't me trying to be a Jay White hater. That's just me calling how I feel. He's not as good. He cannot carry that club like he did with AJ. Like he's not on the level of AJ, Devitt, and Kenny.
Jay White could improve, but just not yet.
Well, they've already have him. They're trying to sell me on him as being on that level when he's not on that level. He's the Roman Reigns of New Japan.
Who are the true Bullet Club leaders? It's really G.O.D., Fale, and
G.O.D. Fale are not that good. They're good characters, but in the ring they're not that good.
Yeah. We'll see. I won't be surprised if suddenly we see
it'd be a good storyline because you could pick up the Civil War that kind of got dropped when AEW started. So in that sense, yes, it'd be good. But if I'm gonna get,
I thought the Civil War ended prematurely. It's just my opinion.
Well, it ended prematurely because the half of the Civil War was leaving. So can't really have a war against yourself.
War festivity at All In. I'm just putting it out there.
Mm.
They did have G.O.D. on StarCast, so my speculation is probably they were gonna go interfere with the Bucks. But it didn't happen because they were also running out of time.
Yeah.
Because apparently a certain villain took too long with this fight, but still, that was in the past.
A certain villain and a certain Rainmaker.
Best pay-per-view I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, as we continue on with the rest of the card, finally, after years of waiting, Tetsuya Naito defeats Kazuchika Okada in the main event of a Wrestle Kingdom, and we finally get that moment. We finally get the moment of Naito giving the LIJ roll call, or do we? As
until the celebration was cut short.
Yes, and Kenta, I think, became the most hated man in Japan that night.
Japan. Oh my god.
But here's the thing. That kind of needed to happen because Naito's only good when he's rebelling against something. And him having his moment taken away is more cause for him to be rebellious. Without Naito having that rebellion, he becomes just another guy. I will say, though, that
It was just perfect.
Kenta has no business winning the title right now.
I just love seeing that photo he posted on Twitter him holding the two belts and just cross-legged sitting on Naito. It's
Well, the reason he was cross-legged sitting was he was taunting Shibata. That was Shibata's pose.
I know, but that was just perfect.
Well, if he doesn't need to be winning the titles at the New Beginning. They did that last year. I really think they need to take a year off from hot potatoing that title from Wrestle Kingdom to the New Beginning.
I'm not saying Kenta should win the title immediately, but it is going to build up to something incredible.
Well, it's the match is happening at their next show.
Shall only hope.
No, it's happening. It's been announced. So, now that's the big news. Now it's time to talk about some not so big news. Monday Night Raw. Jedi, if you will, look up them results for us, my friend.
Sure. Let's see. As my phone decides to rebel on me here. Okay. So, well, the biggest news from Raw is Brock Lesnar showed up to work.
That was news? He showed up to work? Great. I showed up to work. Where's my spotlight?
Right here.
We all and say we're going to be number one at the Royal Rumble.
I'm actually. I'm of two minds about this whole idea of Brock Lesnar being number one in the Royal Rumble.
Alright.
On one hand, if whoever eliminates him could easily transition into a match against him at WrestleMania, and it could be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, whether it
Or
be...
embarrass the crap out of him.
What's that?
Or embarrass the crap out of him.
Well, whoever eliminates him, you know, like, just imagine if, you know, Johnny Gargano eliminates him, or Keith Lee, or
I'm going to put my money on Ciampa.
Ciampa.
Really?
Ciampa and Lesnar like kind of measure up like almost similar. Like, they're really at the same height. Like Ciampa goes ballistic on social media saying he's the greatest entertainer of all time. So I'd say like, hey Brock, guess what? Like what I do full time has probably been the most that you've ever done part time. Which well goes for all the superstars, but still.
Ciampa would be a good choice. The rumored innuendos, maybe Drew McIntyre, which would be cool.
But that part is gonna be weird. It's like, wait, isn't like McIntyre supposed to be somebody we absolutely hate in the ring? I just can't see him as the good guy.
Well, if
Unless he's gonna go like anti-hero on us.
I mean, he played the hero in NXT before he lost the title to Andrade, so it's not impossible.
But still, he could be like, I'm not doing this for the fans, but I'm doing it for that championship, and I'll be happy like them kicking your ass at WrestleMania.
Something like that. Johnny Gargano. I mean, I don't have a pick of who's going to eliminate Lesnar. I'm just saying, like, you know, of all the people that could, you know, you have Johnny Gargano. You know, you could really get... Johnny Gargano is the perpetual underdog. He will be an underdog in a big WWE title match at WrestleMania against Lesnar. And, you know, if we get the Lesnar that we got against Finn, AJ, and Bryan, we got a great match on our hands. If we get the Brock that we got against Roman and Ambrose, we got a stinker.
You want to watch your show?
According to some quote-unquote leaks, where someone posted a picture of what the WrestleMania 36 title card might look like, people are like, are we shitting me here?
Well, I mean, we'll all have our own speculation on what's going to happen at WrestleMania, or excuse me, at the Royal Rumble whenever we get to that predictions episode. I'm still getting some big feedback from you. Yeah. It's like everything's going clang, clang. It's like you're, yeah.
Not even doing anything now.
Okay.
Is it better now?
It's better now.
Okay.
All right. But I mean, everybody else is pissed off about this idea. I'm cool with it. I'm okay with Brock Lesnar not taking up a spot on the card to use the Royal Rumble to possibly build up a bigger match at WrestleMania. I'm going to be in the rare camp that says this is a good idea.
Honestly, something
Fine by me.
So.
I mean, it could be like a couple of years ago and we just randomly had Braun Strowman and Kane.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Versus Brock Lesnar.
Or last year when it was Finn.
Well,
That was a good match, though.
yeah, and then it ended way too quickly, and I was like,
That's true.
Oh, yeah, but other than that, it was a good match.
Yeah. It was getting going and then...
But
Andrade continues his winning streak against Mysterio.
you know, I still think, like, sorry to pick on the past, but I still think Rollins and Balor could have been a pretty damn great WrestleMania match. You got the Demon against.
Oh, I agree.
Demon Slayer.
It made, but it made sense.
Was a good match at SummerSlam several years back.
Yeah.
Right.
But it
that'd be like huge like revenge moment. Be like, Seth, you took away almost an entire year of what I could have accomplished better than you did. We could have actually seen a demonic Finn Balor where he's using the demon to try and go after him.
But Seth wasn't the champion yet. And honestly, if Brock is going to lose the title, he can't just lose it on Raw or at, Fastlane. He has to lose it like a Mania. If Lesnar's going to lose, he needs to lose it like Mania or SummerSlam. Like, that's just
the way it is.
I mean, we did see Brock Lesnar lose a title at No Way Out versus the late great Eddie Guerrero.
That was before Brock. But that was before Brock became like the final boss of the WWE.
That was a different Brock, yeah.
Still pictured as like the beast incarnate.
Yeah, but now he's kind of not only he's the part-time where I'm not going to say he should be champion, but I also don't think that Brock Lesnar needs to be on his back more than he's getting his hand raised.
Right.
Because I want beating Brock Lesnar, and I think that beating Brock Lesnar, if he's should mean something. So, like I said last year when we all watched the Rumble together, I was okay with Brock Lesnar beating Finn Balor. I just wish there would have been a little more struggle, and then Brock Lesnar ultimately wins. Before dropping the title at WrestleMania, which happened. But I'm there's many different things I can do with this. I still already know who I'm going to pick as my Royal Rumble winner. So, but we'll save that for the predictions episode. But like that, Rey Mysterio still keep continuing his losing ways. And Rusev was in front of a green screen making fun of Bobby Lashley and Lana.
That's right.
Because we need more wedding stories on a wrestling show.
We need more wedding stories and cuckolding. That's exactly what we need. But remember, Paul Heyman is a goddamn genius, everybody.
I just realized that when did WWE start doing their shows on TLC? What happened to the USA contract? Are we watching Say Yes to the Dress?
I feel like this is proof that Paul Heyman. I touched on this a little last week. Paul Heyman's best days are behind him. You really just can't. I'm not going to take anything away from how he's able to develop talent, but the only major idea that Paul Heyman has come up with is Maria cuckolding Mike Kanellis and Lana cuckolding Rusev and Ronda Rousey getting her hair done and saying that wrestling's fake but she's real. That's been Paul Heyman. The goddamn genius of pro wrestling has come up with two cuckold storylines, and a woman breaking the fourth wall while getting her hair done. Genius!
Wait, so Wanda thing wasn't working then, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yes, it was. It was.
Oh, boy. I did like how Being the Elite completely mocked that.
Yes, that was hilarious. But so that's enough Raw. Let's move to NXT.
Finally.
So we get to NXT. Their Superior Women has become a meme, but it is a Superior Women's division was on display. Jedi, you want to pull up the results for us?
I will indeed. So we had Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, and Candice LeRae versus Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair. In the 6-woman tag, Ripley Storm and LeRae won.
Okay, good match.
Everybody wants a piece of Ripley right now, basically.
There's some big news that we're gonna get to, but we're not quite there just yet.
Okay. Oh, the Dusty Rhodes Classic has begun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Team Undisputed.
The Imperium won a match against someone.
Woo! That fucking time the Imperium wins a match.
Right. I'm trying to remember who they won against, but I forgot.
I'm not gonna go there.
Well, who was it?
Well,
I forgot, son.
I know, I'm forgetting the name too.
Well, I was needing because I forgot as well.
Was it the Ramones?
I knew this yesterday, nephews. Okay, all kidding aside, Imperium beats the Forgotten Sons, so yeah, we move on. But the Time Splitters are reuniting for the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
I heard about that.
I never thought I could actually finally see Alex Shelley on
Nope.
NXT. That was incredible.
Right?
So yeah, it's pretty cool. See Alex Shelley back. I thought he retired. I thought he retired.
He's amazing.
Oh, Alex Shelley's great. My sidebar tangent of everything. Jedi and I met Alex Shelley at the TNA Lockdown Fan Fest, and he came in. He smiled and shook my hand and signed my autograph. I said, "Are you ready? You ready to win the X Division title tomorrow?" And he goes, "I highly doubt that's gonna happen, dude."
Yep.
That was his exact words to me. Highly doubt that's gonna happen, dude. He took a picture with me for free afterwards with my flip phone. So he was cool enough to do that, but he did kind of immediately tell me not to get my hopes too high for him winning the X Division title.
Yep.
So, but yeah, Time Splitters are coming back for the Dusty Classic, and
Speaking of the Dusty Classic, the Undisputed Era beat Gallus.
Woo!
okay, good for them.
Yeah, so one for UK and one not for UK.
And I believe we're getting pretty close to the big news, are we not, Jedi?
Gargano and Balor?
Yes. Gargano
Gargano and Balor.
has challenged Finn Balor for a match at TakeOver. And yeah, I once again, maybe not, quite as big, I joked that I had a semi whenever I saw Mox and Suzuki square off in that match tease. No, when Mox and Suzuki was teased, I think I got a full-on erection. This one gave me a semi. But still, I'm pretty excited about this match.
Yeah.
Why do we not have a takeover during Rumble weekend? That's bizarre.
Are they not doing a takeover during Rumble?
No. It's going to be at NXT TakeOver Portland on February 16, 2020.
Oh, well,
Maybe they don't want to actually hurt themselves before the Royal Rumble this year.
that throws a wrench into my giveaway plans, because I was going to combine TakeOver and the Rumble for, big prizes.
Yeah, Balor for the Royal Rumble confirmed.
Well,
Hey, what do you think about it?
well, Jedi is right. Now we might be able to see more NXT guys on the card. Guys and girls. Well, you kind of need the NXT girls. Let's just be honest.
Considering the way Survivor Series went, I would kind of think they're almost obligated to do 10-10-10 in the Rumbles.
Absolutely, they are. Well, they do 10-10-10, but then you run the risk of missing out on... Look, I'm all for using the new talent. I'm all for everything. But one of my favorite parts about the Royal Rumble is the old school guys coming back. That is, you hear the music, they go in, they get a couple good shots in, they get eliminated. Hooray! I don't care. We can be here and be douchey internet hipsters and talk about how, all of Imperium could have been in there if they didn't decide to bring back Jake the Snake. But they brought back Jake the Snake, and one of these NXT guys weren't in there. We could do that, or we could go, fuck yeah, Jake the Snake. I'm in the camp that wants to go, fuck yeah, Jake the Snake, or fuck yeah, The Godfather, or, last year, fuck yeah, Jeff Jarrett. So.
Okay, fair enough. How about 999? That gives you 3 surprises.
That works.
Yeah.
999. And you know why it's 999? Because for $9.99 a month, Michael, you can get the WWE Network. Yeah, you can't hand that shit to me on a silver platter like that. I'm talking to him. I'm talking to the guy below you in the chat bubble.
My 3-way thing shrink down so I can look at other things on the phone, like the results and all that, and it keeps trying to switch back and forth between the cameras depending on who's talking.
Right.
So it's a good thing I'm not epileptic, because this thing's crazy. Look at.
All right, so are we getting ready to go to EZ's favorite? Are we ready for Dynamite?
Well, we'll mention real quick that Keith Lee beat Dijakovic, Priest, and Grimes to become #1 contender for the North American title.
I'm not angry at that, but I am a little surprised they're not going to start. Well, I'm surprised they aren't going to have him start going towards Cole for the NXT title. But if you're going to have... I feel that they should incorporate NXT into Mania this year. And if there'd be a chance for Keith Lee to get an NXT title shot, it should be WrestleMania. So, maybe we could have Keithy 2 belts.
Might. Never know.
But,
Champion versus cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked for Wrestle Kingdom, right?
It worked for WrestleMania last year.
Yep. Yeah, it did.
All right.
So, yeah.
Dynamite time, Jedi?
Dynamite.
So, Dynamite, honestly, as everyone's saying, it was a weird show. So, for those who do watch Demolition with yours truly, I did a poll ranking between what did you guys think of AEW South Haven? They're in South Haven, Mississippi, aka the Greater Memphis area, and I did a ranking of all the bubbly, good on the bubbly, flat on the bubbly, and refund my bubbly. And I had a tie between all the bubbly and good on the bubbly, with mere 3% difference between the third place being refund my bubbly. So, and that got me thinking, did people really just get this worked up all because of one stupid segment?
Well, we were talking off air about this. A lot of people when AEW was announced, were under the impression that this was going to be New Japan in the United States, or 2005 to 2009 Ring of Honor brought back. And now that they ended up that it's... I still think the wrestling is tremendous, but now that they're getting a little less of that, and they're getting a little more sports entertainment, and they're getting a little more old school wrestling, a lot of the people on the internet that wanted their... what they thought... they didn't get what they thought they were going to get, so they're like, fuck this fucking company. They thought they were going to get Kenny Omega doing Okada matches, or on that level, and the fact that he's, the fact that he's lost a few matches, the fact that he's now, for all intents and purposes, in a tag team, that's got a lot of people upset because they thought they were going to get the cleaner, and they're kind of getting a little more DDT Kenny than the cleaner. You know, there's people that think that when people were excited about AEW, they were thinking it was going to be I'm going to break my cardinal rule here. They thought it was going to be a work rate promotion, and the fact that we see a lot more story-driven stuff, they're like, fuck this. I want to see Cody on the undercard losing because he's nothing but a good character, and I want to see Kenny and Pac wrestling our Iron Man matches every week. And the fact that they're not getting that, I see their point, but I still think they're being a little butthurt about it. This week was kind of the embodiment of that.
It's always every night where things like, oh, teacher company's gonna fail, like this NXT's gonna dominate ratings. AEW crushed NXT again on the rating scale. Number 6 on the national scale. It's like that's
well, don't get too cocky about that because it wasn't but 3-4 weeks ago that AEW was dominated by NXT. So
I'm not suggesting it was a perfect night. Like obviously there are some things they got like touch up on.
The women's division needs an overhaul, and the Nightmare Collective needs to go bye-bye. And they have good talent in the women's division, don't get me wrong, but it needs an overhaul.
No, yeah, the one thing I really do criticize is AEW is not taking the AEW women's division very seriously. Like, come on, you have one of the best talents ever coming out of Impact Wrestling. You are making her a manager of a stable that only those who saw them actually live freak out over. You got Allie rebranded as Bunny, and she's just a manager. Like, are you shitting me? Didn't we almost?
I will say this: the best wrestling.
Allie and Brandy, when the company actually started, I was hoping for Allie Brandy fight. Like this would actually have been amazing. They were building that on BTE. What happened? That's the one complaint out of the women's side.
The one thing I will say about the women's side that is true is the best wrestler on their women's roster is the champion.
True. Well, I'm not like so wild possessed on Riho. I am gonna give it some time and chance. You know, she was actually like pretty damn good. Like when I saw her at Full Gear, you know, she actually fought pretty well. Minus like one guy a couple rows behind me just like heckling the whole match. You're like, this is boring. Women's wrestling boring. Like, oh my god, dude, shut up and just watch the match. Like, sure.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. But I just kept my mouth. It's like I don't know.
The Statlander Rito match was fine for the first 3 quarters before everything went nuts.
It was until they brought in the Nightmare Collective. That's what fucked that whole thing up.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? Like, the championship match could have been better if you had taken out of the Nightmare Collective. Maybe after the match, sure.
Yeah.
Not during the match.
Yeah. It made no sense.
Even their motivation.
It made no sense. But we did forget, we forgot, silly us, to talk about the opening match.
No, we didn't. We talked about how Omega's back basically in a tag team now.
Yeah. But we did not talk about how good the match was. So.
Okay. Omega and Paige versus Private Party.
Wow, was it good!
I love on, like...
I do want to give a shout out, longtime Memphis commentator Dave Brown got to be a guest commentator on this match, so it was really kind of cool to see him get his moment on a national scale because he was a good commentator.
I'm not aware of the Memphis Legends, but I didn't know who Dave Brown was. But it's like, okay, well, you have props to him. You know, those who grew up on him, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. He's just kind of a good little local commentator that never left Memphis, you know, because he was a Memphis guy, and finally getting to call a match on national TV and actually called the match well. And you know, he didn't go. He's an old school guy, but he didn't go old Jim Cornette on the match. So.
I will freak out if we ever get Scott D'Amore as a guest commentator.
I like Scott D'Amore.
Oh, I've met him. runs
Border Street Wrestling. Yep.
Best BC Dub. They are the best. Oh my God! Special shout out to all those amazing hard workers. No, Scott D'Amore is amazing. Like even like
Scott D'Amore's cool.
Show, he's just like real down to earth. And
I've met Scott D'Amore
so many times. I would have loved to work with BCW. Just work for anything, really.
Scott D'Amore's a cool dude. I met him 3 times. Once at the TNA Fan Fest and twice at TNA house shows. I met him once before, right after Jedi got $20 stolen from him from TNA. Tune in next week to hear that story. We're gonna make you earn it. Next week, not only talk about wrestling, Jedi will reveal his how TNA stole $20 from him at a house show.
I got $20 right here. You need it? You need it?
I mean, I'm not turning down money.
Yeah.
Well, that's my money. We all gotta make a living.
Right.
He's got kids though.
I got kids too. They live at the school.
Ah. All right, so on to the great match. My favorite part of that match, and this, next week there's this big 4-way tag team match with the winner getting a shot at SCU. It would not surprise me to see Hangman and Kenny get the win. I like the whole V-Trigger Buckshot Lariat combo as a tag finisher. That's pretty cool. So, love that match.
But everyone is still speculating whether Kenny or Adam are going to turn on each other. And it's someone's got to give.
Yeah, eventually. Doesn't have to happen
I love
right away.
how they introduced Hangman and on his little title it said would not pay the $12.
I saw that.
I read that. I was what the hell? They paid $12 for vodka or for scotch or something?
Or he wouldn't pay the $12 to get into the private party.
Oh yeah.
But still a great match. I really don't want Hangman to turn villain because cowboy shit's it's over with the crowd, and we don't need to see an end to that. But just never know.
So, don't forget about Pac.
Yeah, Pac beat up Michael Nakazawa and again, and Kenny ran away to save them. So.
While Pac during commercial was literally chugging 3 beers.
Yes, he was.
The count was 3 beers with different fans.
Hey, you know what? I'd like to have a beer with Hangman. So.
How about a nice Coca-Cola? Okay, that's real drinking.
Well, actually, I'm on keto right now, so I can't have regular Coke or beer. So.
How about some water? We just add a little salt and be it's vodka.
I'm gonna drink real vodka. I can have a little bit of the bubbly, but I can have 1 glass.
Well, you have sparkling water, and you can still call it bubbly.
I like to drink easy. I'm not straight edge.
Yeah.
But still.
I can't rebirth the straight edge society.
And I'm not cutting my hair either.
Also,
So.
I'm sorry, I'm getting straight edge society vibes out of the Nightmare Collective. They're shaving or cutting a hair long.
That's why the Nightmare Collective is bad. Because it's they're stealing too much from everything else.
That's unfortunate too.
It was a stupid idea from Bad Creative.
Yep.
Yes. I will say this, I did kind of freak out when we saw Dr. Luther just crawl out from under the ring. He was what the shit? No, it can't be.
I mean, it's cool that Dr. Luther's finally getting his moment, but it's who? What?
Even
Who?
everyone was who's that? Even I was wait, who the hell is that? And then
AEW.
JR mentioned Luther. It's holy shit, it's Luther.
Yeah, AEW is bad at abuse.
Yes, they are. See, so what AEW does well is they debut them poorly, they let them not get over, and then they fix them like they did the Dark Order.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah, especially Double or Nothing, you debut the Dark Order, everyone's like, who are
Yeah, who are you? But the sad thing is like, you know, me and Jedi knew who they were when they were the Super Smash Brothers. But with this new thing, we're like, who are these guys?
I don't know, because they, let me tell you, like, they are huge in Smash Wrestling up in Toronto, one of our many indie promotions in Toronto. Like, they are known as Super Smash Bros. I've heard of them. I don't believe I've seen them fight before. Like, I can't remember. I've seen, like, a bunch of indie shows where it's like, there's that guy, and I don't remember him. Yet it's funny, I have seen Kyle O'Reilly fight for the What Culture Pro Wrestling World Cup. Yet I didn't remember when he went to NXT. It's like, oh, Kyle O'Reilly. And then I read the results, like, holy shit, I've seen that guy live.
What's next on Dynamite? Is that...
Well, we already
talked about, okay, I didn't know if that was what was next or was next. Or Rio and Chris... It was still a good match. I really like Chris Statlander.
She's good.
Yeah.
She's amazing. But, yeah, just like that storyline that Nightmare Collective...
It's bad.
I'm done with the ranting. I'm done with it.
What's next?
Christopher Daniels versus Sammy Guevara.
It's actually a really good match.
Good match. Kind of keeping up with the self-doubt Christopher Daniels. And the, what we thought would be Christopher Daniels joining the Dark Order. He turned it down. He will remain with SCU for now.
Sammy also just toned down the level of creepiness with, like, all these celebrities, like, hey, hit me up. It's like, oh my god. I know you're...
No, see, I'm the opposite. I think that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing's hilarious.
It's getting a little creepy.
It gives me a reason to want to pay attention to that rather than watch the commercials.
Right.
Well, I love, like, when they do the commercials, they have the time things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But
That was great.
he's calling out to celebrities, hey, hit me up. It's like, stop.
He ran out of cards. He needed something.
If you guys love it, that's awesome. I'm not saying you guys should. I just think it's creepy. That's it.
I mean, isn't he supposed to be a little creepy?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a douchebag.
He's supposed to be classy, though.
He's supposed to be a douchebag. He has a very... Sammy Guevara has, like, the most punchable face in wrestling.
That's a hard one, though. But who's more punchable, MJF or Sammy?
If MJF has a douchey personality, but, like, when you just... Like, when I see Sammy Guevara, he, like, looks like a guy that would be like a douchebag in high school.
Probably.
Yeah. Like, you'd already know he was a douchebag. But, I believe the next match was Rhodes Brothers versus Lucha Brothers.
You are correct.
Jurassic Express against Best Friends in Orange Cassidy.
Oh, yes. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, as JR would call him, got his first pinfall victory in AEW after...
Really, and we got an AWE. We got a name change.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, but until someone posted like a video of like JR's watching, it's like, oh Lord.
Yeah. But
I'm actually getting to the point where it's like, you know, maybe it'd actually be better if we had Tony Schimmel and Excalibur just like commentating, because I love JR, don't get me wrong, but it's like, if you're gonna do these formal bunches, maybe it's best to just call it a career, man. Like, or I don't know, or whoever the heck we had commentators for All In, get those guys.
No.
Okay.
Ian Riccoboni can, I mean, like, I don't hate Ian Riccoboni, but he can stay in Ring of Honor.
Oh, it was the Ring of Honor guy. Oh, never mind then.
It was the Ring of Honor guys and Excalibur. We got Excalibur, so there you go. And Don Callis, but he's with Impact, so it's never going to happen.
Okay, and sorry to go back to the dead issue, but hearing Brandy on commentary was the worst thing I've ever heard. Just like, Brandy,
it was the worst thing they've ever been in.
I just have to say this. You were worse on commentary than Corey Graves. There.
Well, Corey Graves ain't that bad, so...
I recommendation for you. Don't watch AEW Dark. There's one episode where Nyla commentates a match.
I haven't seen any AEW Dark, unfortunately. I just don't have time.
That's fair.
I'll
Well,
believe it.
it was bad.
Yeah.
I like Nyla. She's a fighter. She shouldn't be just a motivational speaker.
No.
We're just saying she didn't commentate well. But
It was like, you remember back when King tried to be on the villain's side to the point of ridiculousness?
Oh my god. Yeah, I know. All you have to do is look up the Goldberg's debut, and when The Rock's speaking, King just won't shut up. It's like, Jerry, just let the moment happen. Don't.
that's about how it was.
It was hard to concentrate on the match. Nyla was talking so much, trying to support the villain, and yeah, it was, yeah. It was, yeah.
Conversation like between like, oh, Jerry, like, you're this person. It's like, what are we doing? You don't hear people like cheering on the hero on commentary. It's like, let's just come.
Well, either way,
Call the match.
I think all the people, again, haters gonna hate when it comes to Cody Rhodes, but I thought that this wasn't a really good match, and he was gonna respond to MJF's demands, and Arn Anderson steps in and says, "We're gonna think about it."
Yeah, that was annoying. I actually wanted to hear Cody on the mic. It's like, Double A, look, we love you for everything you've done, Four Horsemen, and everything you've also done with WWE. But Cody is just gold on the mic, just like his little quote-unquote like mentor, MJF, who looked up to him. It's like, both Cody and MJF are just brilliant on the mic. Let them talk.
Well, I see that side, but I also see the perspective of, Nick, you want to hear him talk? Tune in next week. Get that rating. Tease it. Milk it. Give the people a reason to tune in next week.
We did have that in Jacksonville where Mom says, like, you want me to make a decision, you'll find out next week. It's like, man, but it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Then MJF comes out and
Oh my
says,
god.
does MJF things, which leads DDP to come out.
Because Cody Rhodes' associate. I don't know.
Yeah. And, you know.
He still kind of got it. Especially
Well, we'll see. Next week we have DDP's in a 6-man tag, so I'm not gonna if this is DDP's last match, I'd be okay with that.
So,
I'm not gonna complain, but MJF's like little comments saying like what he's gonna do to Diamond's daughters is like, oh my god.
More reason to want to hate MJF.
Oh my god. I was more laughing at that. It's like, I cannot believe he just said that. Oh, and then live tweeting during a promo is like,
That was great.
gotta be
Yeah.
the best villainous thing you have ever done. Why can't we get more of that? It'd just be hilarious. You just imagine, like, Paul Heyman, like, cutting a Brock Lesnar promo, and Brock's just on his phone, just, like, tweeting, whatever.
I don't think Brock Lesnar has Twitter, but I see what you're saying.
He does, but he just retweets stuff.
Eh,
But
I don't follow Brock Lesnar. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that. I enjoyed the segment. Everybody's bitching about DDP coming back, and if DDP wins next week, then yeah, bitch away. But if DDP loses and helps make a new star, then y'all can shut the fuck up. There you go.
And
Then we go to, what's next? Is that
I
the...
like how MJF is just friends with the Butcher and the Blade.
He paid them and brought them in.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
We have anything else,
We
or...
go to John Moxley and Chris Jericho.
Yes, this segment was gold.
and probably just
Yes, it
one
was.
of the best endings AEW has probably had.
You know, we actually, they teased it like he was actually going to join it, and, he gets his car. And then at the end of it, just after all the bubbly being popped and you believing that John Moxley actually, because it made sense for him to actually join. Like they told it in a way to where it didn't seem force fed. It made sense. And then he just, in typical John Moxley fashion, goes, "I was just kidding. I really don't want to be in the
And
stable."
then champagne bottle smash on the head. I was like, oh shit.
And then the botch with the other one that broke when he grabbed it. And then Hager cradling Jericho in his arms like
Yeah.
Rocky and Apollo.
My name is Jake Hager. You killed my father.
That was on Jedi's door for years.
The sad part is I've never seen full Princess Bride, but I do like that quote.
You need to watch it.
You've
And
never seen The Princess Bride?
I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen snippets and snippets. Hey, my last ex even gave me that look. It's like, you've never seen Princess Bride? It's like, no. And now my current girlfriend is like, you've never seen Princess Bride?
well, she needs to make you watch it. It's awesome.
She knows.
Jedi, anything happen on SmackDown? I haven't seen the show yet, but anything that looks interesting and worth talking about happened on SmackDown.
Stuff happened on SmackDown. I'm literally trying to go to the YouTube.
I'm sure plenty of stuff happened.
Dirt Sheet reunited, sorta.
Ah.
Cool. I want to see that.
It was on Miz TV. Kofi Miz actually had a pretty good match.
Okay.
I actually did, because I was at a Mexican restaurant for dinner, but they did have SmackDown on, but they didn't have the sound on, so it's like it was hard to know.
I don't get SmackDown on Sling. I get Raw and AEW and all that jazz, but and Impact, but no.
Apparently, out of all the people to call up Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, it was Elias. And it's like, oh lord.
Elias.
Apparently, you know.
Oh God.
I don't know, I'm like, should I play the video just to see what he did?
Well, not on the show. I don't want to get flagged for copyright, so.
It's mainly showing footage, but they didn't say anything about footage being heard.
I got kicked off a live stream for live reactions and them hearing it once, so.
Alright, we'll keep it at a bit. We'll watch it on our own time.
Unfortunately.
Strowman Nakamura had a pretty decent match. They're trying to set up Strowman and Nakamura for the IC title, which, like, well, could finally give Braun a title that's
Ugly new IC title.
Kid. Oh, and Daniel Bryan received a severed bunny head. Oh, sorry, a severed puppet head. Because how many times are you gonna kill Ramblin' Rabbit?
Poor Ramblin' Rabbit.
Seriously, has he become the Kenny of wrestling now?
Yes. And I'm okay with that.
Whatever.
Alright, I feel like that's.
Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose had a match. Cool. Bayley stops Lacey Evans' blindside attack because.
Reasons. Sounds like nothing worth talking about on SmackDown.
And Usos took on Baron Corbin and. King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler because that's apparently a team. They had a fight. Revival tried to distract.
Nothing worth talking about. I'm not an Usos fan really at all. So.
I don't know what SmackDown's doing. It's like, come on, you're not becoming Raw.
It's the main roster.
DQ from Roman Reigns spearing the King, and then Robert Roode came back. Oh yeah, Glorious Man came back.
Well, that's the week in wrestling, folks. Thank you all for joining us. Jedi had to duck out early because he's got kids and he needed to back out. But thank you all for joining us. If you enjoyed this show, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, but from the world of anime, gaming, comic books, and all things geek culture. Go follow me on all my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter @athletic_geek89, and Instagram @athleticgeek89. Jedi, who ducked out, does not have social media, but if you message me, we'll I'll get the message to him. Got kids, ain't got time for that shit. Easy. Plug it.
Alright, guys. You can follow The Elite Era on Twitter at twitter.com/The Elite Era. I talk to everybody. I am like down to earth. You want to talk like wrestling or you want to talk about sports, you want to talk about that. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel that does not have a custom name yet. And I am now on Patreon. Please support Patreon because I'm going to be doing some Patreon exclusive stuff on there, such as reviving my Monday Night Elite show, which was my BTE reaction show. That's going to be starting on January 27th,
Okay.
which is the day after I turn a big old 25. So just $5 a month, that's it. There's no gimmicks, there's no like surcharge for like, ooh, we're starting at $5, now there's going to be a bigger membership. No, just $5, that's it. That's what
Okay.
a lot of YouTubers are also saying, like doing for their subscription stuff. Just $5 is all you got to give, and I will reward y'all with amazingness, okay? So that is my YouTube, my Patreon, and especially my Twitter, guys.
Yep. For the Elite Era, easy.
AEW Cleveland's coming up in a few more weeks. I'm going to be there. AEW Cleveland.
Say hi if you're going to AEW Cleveland, bud. For Easy and Jedi Jace Kruger, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just 3 marks. We're out. Have a good one.